What's up, Virgo Collective? Thank you for joining me for your energy reading. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I am doing road opener readings for you guys as we have entered a new calendar year. And for many of us, there are roads energetically that are blocked. And so I'm hoping to bring some insight as to what road is blocked, why that road is blocked, and what it is that you're needing to surrender or surrender to in order to unblock that road. If you are familiar with the hoodoo practice of road opening, then you know that there are some very alchemical things that you can do to transmute energy and to unblock roads. But so you can do those things in conjunction with what's coming forward within this reading. But you want to start with awareness and intention, right? Whatever you do, you want to start with intention. And so I'm going to help better define that intention for you all. I'm using bibliomancy, or I have used bibliomancy to identify what crystal you should be working with at this time to help unblock those roads. And I have right now my optimism loose incense blend that I make for those of you who are familiar with me by way of meeting me at various festivals and markets and vendor events. Then you probably have purchased or smelled the optimism blend. But it has like a Palo Santo powder base with chamomile and copal resin and some other essential oils and ingredients. And opposed to like one of the incense sticks that I would burn, I actually intuitively was led to burn optimism, some of my own magic for this particular reading, and bring that energy into this reading. And having pulled the cards and identified the crystal that you guys are needing to work with, it makes sense why I was led to use optimism for this reading. So we're gonna get into it. Oh, before I start, I do have a shadow work class. It's online, that's coming up. You can find the flyer on the community board and on my link tree. The link is there to lead you to where you can purchase tickets. The early bird pricing is $20. The regular price is $27. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can do that as well. But yeah, it's that time, y'all. It's time for us to dive deeper into our shadow work. It's time for those who aren't acquainted with what shadow work is to get acquainted and to know what tools they can use to assist with doing shadow work. This year being a universal 9, the moon energy and the hermit energy is very significant to our growth and evolution in this year, and that is the energy of shadow work. So when I pulled for you guys to see what road is blocked, I pulled from the archetypes deck and got that you all are shifting or needing to shift from the gossip to the goddess. Because at the top of the deck you have gossip, and in its light attribute, it's one who awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. When it's in its shadow aspect, it's one who thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences. So what this is telling me, it's time to stop either talking about something or be mindful of how you're speaking about something and what it is that you're saying and how you're delivering your message, and tapping more into your goddess energy, which is that is empathic, considerate, receptive. It's not overly aggressive, but takes a more sensual, soft, feminine, natural approach to things. So you got this image here with the gossip of someone who's talking to another, right? All in their ear. And then with this goddess energy, you have a woman who she's just doing her. She's just in her sensuality. She's just in her soft, sensual energy and enjoying nature. She outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's the feminine expressed through wisdom. She's the example, and she leads by example. So she's one who ain't got time to be sitting up talking just to be hearing herself talk. She's not one who's talking to promote her ego, which I've been noticed this, but I'm starting to see more people speak about it, and I love that. But she's not one of those, especially like in the wellness space, who is so egoic that she's putting people down, trying to deliver the message and propping herself up, and like she's just one who knows the power of the spoken word. And so she's picking and choosing her battles as it relates to how she speaks, because she knows that her words have power. And if you know your words have power, you ain't gonna use your words any ass old way in any situation, any old situation. You're gonna be mindful of your currency, your energy, and how you are exerting that energy, because words are magical. We create and cast spells with our words, and sometimes silence is golden. Sometimes not speaking is also the magic. Sometimes you just need to stop talking and let your example, your action, or your inaction be the guide, the leading force, right? So that's the road that's been blocked for y'all, because for some, you've been talking too much. You're needing to fall back, or you're needing to be more mindful of your words and how you deliver your words. But whatever it is, there's a call to tap more into your goddess energy. And if I'm talking to a masculine and you still here and the word goddess hasn't scared you away, if you haven't taken the message up to this point, it's she ain't talking about me, I'm a man. No, you have goddess energy too. You are God and goddess. You are masculine and feminine. You are light and you are dark. And so in tapping into that goddess energy, you're tapping more into that capacity to be in that soft, sensual, natural life force energy. Having that feminine wisdom of valuing your intuition and self-care and self-love, wisdom and optimism, and in action, stillness, knowing that there's natural cycles in life, and that there's a time to act, and then there's a time to rest. There's a time to work, and there's a time to rest, and having that balance, right? So this message, like all of my messages, are not specific to dominantly feminine energy or the feminine gender, right? So in asking why is this road blocked, I got new moon promise, and at the bottom of the deck, volatility. Some of you know that you're manifesting something new, like in your communion with the divine. You've been shown, or you've been told, or you felt that something new is on the horizon for you. Here you have a couple standing on the side of one side of a fence, looking out on the other side of that fence, and they can see the sun either rising or setting, right? We don't know which one. But whatever it is, you are aware of the promise of something new manifesting in your life. But in some way, the way that you've been speaking to it or speaking about it has been blocking that road, or the fact that you've been speaking at all. Whatever it is you've been doing or saying about said manifestation, said promise that is in the works, that is brewing, that's coming down the pipeline, it needs to shift. You're being called to take a different approach, because if you continue to take the approach that you've been taking, there is going to be a buildup, and you're going to become more volatile, and there's going to be an eruption. There's been a lot of talks in the wellness spaces about sacred rage, and I am an advocate. Sacred rage is often the expression of that which has been built up, that repressed and suppressed emotion that has been built up, and like a volcano, it erupts. Once it is triggered, it erupts and it comes out as rage. And there are people who are behind the wall. There are people who are in the grave as a result of not knowing how to work with that energy. So like I said, your intention is everything. Just saw 11:11. Your intention is everything. Not only your intention, but how you use the energy that you have, how you use the energy that you recognize coming from you, that heat that you feel coming from you, the emotion you feel, because anger is an emotion, that emotion that you feel welling up in you. How do you use it? What do you do with it? Because if you don't do nothing with it, you stand a chance of this volatility. Volcano erupting. And how it come out is how it come out, right? And in some cases, that's healthy. I experienced about a year ago what was a moment of rage in communication with a loved one. And although the response was that, I needed to calm down. I was not word for word called wrong, but the response was as though I was wrong. And I said, I took a breath and I said, this actually feels really good. It's been a long time coming. I needed to get this out. I needed to get it out just how I just got it out. And so for some of us, we're needing to learn that lesson of how our sacred rage comes to serve us, but also how to, in some situations, avoid it even getting to rage. You know what I'm saying? Or some volatility, some expression of volatility where you just can't take this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? With this new moon promise, whatever is meant to manifest is going to manifest, but you're needing to surrender to your full power. Know that there is a goddess that lives within you, and that tapping into that energy is part of you embodying your full power. And you have a goddess in this card here. You have a warrior energy that is also feminine representing, standing next to a lion. It's very much giving that strength card energy. So for some of you, you've been exerting your strength by way of how you use your words, like your capacity to, how you use words, like your capacity to form words, like you got the gift of gab, or you have a lot of aggression when it comes to your words, or just how you put words together. Like you've been using your words in a way that it has outwardly shown your strength, but now you're needing to rely on your inner strength. Because like many of our animal kin, our animal family and friends, they know their power. They know what they're capable of. And they ain't got to roar, bark, none of that to prove a point, right? They know. They are confident about their full power. And even when they're not chasing, even when they're not biting, even when they're not barking, I'm still powerful, yo. I know I would tear you to shreds. I know I can run at the speed of faster than the speed of light. I know that I have fangs that can tear through your bones. I know what I'm capable of. I know my anatomy. You know what I'm saying? I know my gifts. I know my talents. And I know how to protect myself. But I ain't got no motherfucking point to prove either, right? Surrender to your full power. So there's somewhere where you have not been tapping into your full power. It is relative to your goddess energy, and that is where the direction you're needing to be heading in this chapter to unblock this road. It says your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Because sometimes this gossip energy, however you've been using your words, that's actually you playing it small. That's actually you being in your ego. Lions often represent the ego, but that's and having to tame the ego in that way and learn to use some different defenses other than your words. So you're surrendering to your full power and non-action. Stop. Just do this. Tap into this. Get into this. Invest your time and energy into this embodiment, opposed to trying to do something to fulfill the prophecy or the promise, the manifestation. The moon, when the new moon is out, there is no sign or sight of the moon. The sky is blank. It's there, but the sun is not shining on the moon. Therefore, you can't see any trace of the moon, which means it has to go through a full cycle of light being shed on it in order for the manifestation of the full moon to come forward, right? And that takes about what, a month's time between the new moon and some weeks, new moon and the full moon. So sometimes you just have to let things naturally take its course and not speak on it or be mindful of how you speak on it while it's in progress. But you got surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. That's more focused on your power. Surrender to your full power. Be still, be quiet, and focus on your own power. So you've been speaking about some shit, and now it's time to just focus on yourself. You've been trying to speak life into others. Focus on yourself. Surrender to non-action for a time. It ain't gonna be all day, every day, the next 6 months to a year. I mean, we don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's temporary. Pause. Take a break. Fall back, right? Let others come to you. Because when you're in your goddess energy, that's exactly what the fuck you do. You do not chase, you attract. And you understand that when you're in your feminine energy, whenever you're in a situation that calls for you to be in your goddess feminine energy, that's magnetic. You just do you. And you don't even worry about magnetizing and attracting the thing. You just know that I'm worthy of better than I've received, and I am attracting that which I deserve. And what that looked like is what it looked like. But I'm going to know it when I see it. I'm going to know it when I feel it. I'm going to know it when I hear it. So this is like falling back and calling for something to come correct, or someone to come correct, or not at all, right? And then this lady has like what looks like a unicorn. What do you call the thing? The horn in the front of her head, because that's the thing that separates you from the rest. The way that you exude that inner strength and defend yourself with other tactics, like that golden silence, or like your optimism, your confidence, your goddess energy, or how you work your hand, or whatever it is, like that sets you apart from the crowd, how you handle shit in a different manner. So the crystals that I identified by way of crystal prescription. There's two of them, and one is rainbow moonstone, which really speaks to the intuitiveness and this moon energy that came out, right? So with rainbow moonstone, it says these remarkably beautiful gemstones emanate great vitality, life force, and exuberant joy. There's that life force coming up again. So some of you are needing to fall back so that you can build up your life force energy. Something that may have been draining your life force energy that you were putting your time and energy toward. And for some of you, it was the gossip energy here. The way that you had been speaking to or about this situation. For some of you, the gossip wasn't bad. You were trying to speak life into something or somebody, but it's time to stop, and it's time to go inward and turn that time, effort, and energy towards yourself. But whatever it is, it's not about them no more. It's not about that no more. It's about you. So it says, and it's about you and your life force energy. That is so important. Vitality, life force, and exuberant joy. Rainbow moonstones offer the gifts of inner peace and harmony, emotional balance and strength, purification and transformation of negativity, as well as psychic protection. These traits are common to moonstones generally. However, rainbow moonstones seem to vibrate much more powerfully than most other varieties, so one gets a more noticeable dose of these beneficial energies. In addition, rainbow moonstone can facilitate the alignment and activation of all the chakras, while helping one maintain a clear sense of groundedness and centeredness. These gems are powerful healers of the emotional body. They are recommended for anyone who suffers from daily stress or who carries old emotional wounds or grief. Rainbow moonstones promote a healthy optimism, which allows one to overcome obstacles and difficult people, and that can sustain one through dark times. They are stones of great light, and they aid one in kindling the inner light of the heart. One thing about that new moon energy, like I was saying, when we have a new moon, that's when the skies is darkest. There's no light out. Like there's no sunlight to illuminate the light of the moon in any way. And so when you're going through dark times, when you're confused, when there's chaos, when you don't know what to do, you go within. When you don't know what to do externally, or when what you've been doing externally does not work, you go within. You go into high priestess mode. You go into you tap into your goddess energy. You start paying more attention to what you're putting in your body and eating fruits and vegetables and raising your vibration. You tap in with sensual dance, and you're mindful of the frequencies of music that you're using. You put on your soft satiny fabrics, and you make sure the house smelling good and clean up. You know what I'm saying? You do the things that help raise your vibration. You have a spiritual bath and get you a good cry out. You journal, but you do the things that nurture you and help you to feel more emotionally safe and secure. You in essence go back into the mother's womb in some way. You go into gestation and you nourish yourself and you reparent yourself. It says, just as a piece of moonstone, rainbow moonstone, looks different from any other, so these stones remind us that our individuality is precious and valuable. They can help us find the courage to be cheerfully true to ourselves, even when we are under pressure to surrender to others. They can also facilitate activation of the rainbow body of light, the spiritual vehicle by which our individual consciousness can travel throughout the many inner worlds. Rainbow moonstones, I'm getting caught up because I see this word God is like the fuck. Rainbow moonstones are aligned with the energies of the goddess, and they can help one successfully empower the feminine aspects of oneself. Through the goddess connection of rainbow moonstone, one can also commune with the energies and spirits of nature, from plant devas to galactic consciousness. I cannot stress enough on this channel that we are not just human beings, that we are not the only living beings on this earth, and that we are universal citizens. It's bigger than us. We have help, we have spirits, we have families and different levels of consciousness available to support us. It's bigger than just going to church and taking your burdens to the altar. There's so much help available to us, and we're needing to, and not only help, those things are a part of us. It's all a part of the one, and we're needing to tap into those parts of ourselves as we deepen into our goddess energy. And if you're a masculine, you deepening more into your goddess energy helps you to align more with goddesses outside of you. If you one of them men who think women ain't shit, you can't trust them, all they want is some money, they quick to set you up, or too dramatic and too emotional, and all the negative things that dishonor feminine energy, wait until you start tapping into your own feminine energy. You're going to start to align with and see from a different perspective the value of feminine energy. You're going to honor that which brings you into this world, that has birthed this planet, that has birthed life. And so it will behoove you to work with Rainbow Moonstone, but also Morganite. Morganite is all about divine love and compassion. So it is connected with the water element and the heart chakra. So many of you need to do some work with your heart chakra. It says, as rose quartz is the great energizer of personal love and self-love. Rose quartz is what I'm wearing and working with currently. It's attuned. Morganite is attuned most clearly to the frequency of divine love. Morganite opens the heart on another level, making us aware of the huge ocean of cosmic love within which we all exist. Did I not just say that? We're all part of one big cosmic family. We're universal citizens. We're not just citizens of the United States or citizens of planet Earth or black people. We're universal citizens, and there are species of all different races, creeds, and colors that inhabit this space with us. And so we are to tap in and tune into that, because they're part of us. They're a reflection of us. Morganite gives us the opportunity to surrender to the immense power of divine love and to let it show us our life path more clearly. Morganite can bring an immediate release of old pains and sorrow and a sense of lightness, as though a burden has been lifted. It can make the healing of old wounds easier, bringing long forgotten traumas into consciousness, where one can relive them one last time as they are being released. If you're having like dreams of past traumas or like trauma, but you don't recognize it as something you've experienced in this lifetime, it may have happened in another lifetime, or it happened in this time, but either way, it's coming up so that you can relive it and transmute that energy. And this is the last time. This is the last go around. Again, we in this universal 9 year. It's a lot of shit gonna resurface so that you can tie those loose ends and finally really nip that shit in the bud, right? And because that's the case, you ain't got time to play with people. And you ain't got time to be wasting your words on shit that don't deserve it or don't call for it. I'm one of those people. I don't want to talk about it if there's not going to be any resolve, or it's not going to benefit me to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And so there have been instances where I have distanced myself from people without giving an explanation or words to my departure or my descent in any way, because that would have been a waste of my time and energy. Being mindful of where I am, not like trying to avoid the situation, but being mindful of where I'm putting my precious, valuable energy with. If I give you words, if I'm talking to you, if I take time to talk to you or text you in any way, that's a gift, because I value my words. I value the power of words, period. And I value my time. I value my energy. I value the emotion that may be put into that situation or whatever space that I am creating or holding. I value all of that. And so we're being called to do more of that. Be more mindful of that. Hold on, y'all. Trying to open this thing without wasting it. There we go. Morganite brings in the frequency of divine compassion, which gives us what we most need for our growth, if not always what we think we want. Morganite is recommended to all those who wish to do serious inner work and emotional self-healing. Not only can it cleanse and activate the heart, bringing it into harmony with the divine plan, it can also awaken us to the awareness that all of our life suffering and pain serve the higher purpose of our spiritual growth. Like coming to understand that the things that you've experienced, what you've gone through, the things that you have overcome and traversed, they came to serve your higher purpose, and understanding how that helped you to cultivate character and strength, and this inner strength that you're being called to use, and how it has contributed to your full power. If you had to fight a lot in your life, that made a warrior out of you. That showed you wasn't no punk. You know what I'm saying? That you will stand up for yourself, and that there's a place within you that if need be, you can tap into to get a motherfucker up off of you, right? If you've been abused or traumatized anyway, that's the way that you learn to not play victim and to overcome, and to, even though hard things were thrown in your way, you were able to overcome those mountains, those obstacles that hurt. And then they lead you to different modalities and healing avenues for you to evolve and grow and get better, and then you be that one to help other people heal from it. So it all serves a purpose. And when we're having experiences where we feel victimized by people, someone has hurt us, we know full well they're not treating us, honoring us as they should, that we've been better to them in terms of kindness and compassion than they've been to us, and we're still being called to be compassionate toward them, we're still being called to move in compassion. That's for us, that's not for them. But it does affect them, because remember, you're moving by example. The world has taught us that compassion looks like taking people's shit over and over again. No. You can distance yourself from the situation and still have compassion for the individual who contributed to your decision to put that distance, right? So again, reiterating that, focus on yourself, where you had been pouring your time, your energy, your resources, your emotion into something else. It's time to redirect and just let people see what it was that you were trying to say. You know what I'm saying? By the way you walk on a day-to-day basis, from moment to moment, how you handle yourself. And should you have a moment of volatility, forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is a major component of this block road as well. It says, not only can it cleanse and activate the heart, bringing it into harmony with the divine plan, it can also awaken us to the awareness. Oh, I already read that part. To the awareness that our life suffering and pain serve the higher purpose of our spiritual growth. With this awareness comes the inner surrender, which releases us from the pain to which we had been unconsciously clinging. So there's a lot of pain and hurt that's coming to the surface, and things that are circling back around, so that you can finally let it go. So you can realize where you have been clinging on to it and where it had been affecting you in some way. Wearing Morganite, especially in gem form, brings a sense of peace, joy, and inner strength, expressed in the most gentle and loving fashion. When one keeps Morganite on one's person for extended periods of time, there is growth of confidence and power that comes from being constantly aware of one's connection to divine love. One feels as though one is in a conduit for that love to flow into the world through all one's interactions and relationships. Morganite is also called pink emerald, and it is aptly named. It speaks of the abundance of the heart and the prosperity of love. It helps attune one to the energy of abundance and to open to receive the love of the divine. While emerald's frequency stimulates worldly prosperity, Morganite brings a sense of emotional abundance, love and peaceful acceptance, and trust for the divine plan for one's life. And the affirmation for Morganite is divine love enters the world through the gate of my heart. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of who don't show up, regardless of who disappoints you, regardless of who does not recognize, acknowledge, and is grateful for your gifts, your talents, your energy, your vibration, your frequency, you do not allow that shit to make you bitter. You do not allow it to harden your heart. You keep your heart open and you stay committed to being a vessel of divine love by which divine love enters the world. Keep your heart open, healthy, and make sure that you are prioritizing your emotional and spiritual health. So I hope this message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. Again, don't forget to check in to the information provided about the shadow work class that will be held on January 14th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you'd like to make a donation, that information can be found below in the description box, or you can make a donation via the ticket seller portal where the tickets are being sold for the class. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, push that subscribe button, leave your comments down below, and until next time, y'all, peace.